So far, we've gone through the following steps: understanding the task, brainstorming and organization, outline and structure, and we wrote our first draft. So where do we go from here? So we'll go to the revision and editing stage. So now that we have worked through each of the steps required to write a good paragraph, it is time to look at one final skill that will help you improve your writing ability. So when you have finished writing the first draft, there are often things that can be improved before you decide that it is ready to hand in. So here is where you check out your work for errors. This is a very important part of the writing process. The few minutes that you spend checking on spelling, grammar, vocabulary, and mechanics can make a considerable difference to your final grade. So we need to bear in mind that our final product will be corrected based on a number of criteria that we can see here. So the examiner is going to correct your work based on these criteria. So the first criterion is the relevance of content of the task, for which you have 2 points. So here the examiner looks at your piece of writing and decides whether you have respected the question in the topic, meaning you have answered the question correctly and all your ideas are related to the topic in the task. The second criterion relates to appropriateness and variety of vocabulary. Okay, so here the examiner checks whether you have used a number of vocabulary words in an appropriate way and whether you have used a variety of vocabulary words, meaning that you did not just repeat vocabulary words many times. The third point relates to grammar and mechanics. So here the examiner checks whether you have respected the grammar rules, you have used a variety of grammar structures, like respecting the plural or the verb tenses, verb patterns, etc. And also the mechanics like linking words and transition words. For example, we have used in our paragraph the word first, for example, okay, for instance, and these things. So we use a number of linking words to link our ideas. So the examiner looks at that too. Okay, so these things are very important. So you have to take them into consideration when you are revising, first when you are writing and then when you are revising your work. Okay, so let's when you edit, you take a second look at how you express your ideas or how you have expressed your ideas. You can add or change some words. You can fix any problems in grammar, punctuation, and sentence structure. And of course, the goal is to improve your writing style as well. You check the structure of your work and you make sure that your paragraph has a topic sentence and a number of supporting sentences, as well as a closing or a concluding sentence. Okay, so let's go through our paragraph together and see which changes we can make to it in order to improve it. So as you can see here, the first change that we can make relates to word order. So if we look at this word here or this phrase, an engine search, this is not the way we say this. So there's an error in word order here. Normally it should be a search engine. Okay, as an example of a grammar error, we have here informations. The word information does not usually take the plural form, especially here for any, just for any information. We have an example of repetition as well, because the word important has already been used. It's useful to find another word instead of the word important. So we can think, for example, of effective. The internet is an effective means of communication. We can see here that we have an error in capitalization. Facebook is capitalized with a capitalized F. WhatsApp as well with a capitalized W. Skype should also be capitalized because these are names of computer programs or pieces of software, okay, that we use for communication. So normally Skype should have a capital S. There is also an error in punctuation here. As you can see, we have a semicolon, and normally we should have a full stop. There's also an error in spelling, entertainment, so there is no E after N in entertainment, okay? And we have also look a movie. We don't normally say look a movie, so here we have an error in word choice. Okay, that's why we normally need to say watch a movie, okay? And we have here an error in verb form, a better invention that has changed our lives. So you see that just from a second look, we have found a number of things to change, and they are essential corrections as well, okay? Now, after this, we can think also about improving things in order to give ourselves a better chance of getting a better score, okay? So after the essential corrections, we can do some more improvements to our paragraph. So for example, here we can say first, it is a good place of information. A good place of information is okay, but it's better to say a good source of information. Since you can use a search engine, for example, Bing or Google, for example, is okay here, but again, it's better to say like or such as is also appropriate here. A search engine such as Bing or Google to look for any information you need. Another reason, so here, because we said first here, so I think it would be better to say here also, or second, or next. The internet is an effective means of communication. For example, Facebook, Skype, and WhatsApp permit you to stay. Permit is, it's better here to use allow, okay? WhatsApp allow you to stay in contact with your friends. To stay in contact with your friends is okay, but if we wanted to use an idiomatic expression, we can change contact here with in touch, to stay in touch with your friends and family in a very cheap and rapid way. Now coming to the phrase, the third reason. This is not an appropriate way to say this, so following the transitions that we have here. So first, also, we can use here moreover, okay? So moreover, when you feel bored, the internet can give a lot of entertainment. Give is okay here, but it's better to use provide. Provide is a better and more appropriate word in this sentence. The internet can provide a lot of entertainment. For example, you can listen to music. We've already used, for example, here. Okay, so it's better to find another substitute for example, and we have one which is for instance, you can listen to music, watch a movie, or play your favorite game online. So for these reasons and many more, my view, it is hard to find a better invention. Okay, so here, my view is it is. My view is it is. So it's better here to use I believe, which is a strong word, because you're closing your paragraph and you want to leave the reader with a good impression and with a strong opinion to support your argument. Okay, so you can see here that we have changed a number of vocabulary words and we have made our writing better. Okay, so this is the revision and editing process, and as you can see, it's a very important process because it polishes your work and it increases your chances of getting a good mark. Okay.